New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is JLS from the Knick Of Time Show, here giving you that Knick talk just in the nick of time. And guess what, guys? Off of a back-to-back, the Knicks pull out a win without RJ Barrett, frozen with a plethora of Knicks forgotten pieces. So shout out to these Knicks. Knicks beat the 76ers 108-97, and I'm gonna read some stats to you. All right, Julius Randle gives you 24 points, 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Brunson gives you 21 points, 5 rebounds and 7 assists. The Grimes gives you 13. Okay, Grimes, but then the Deuce is loose. McBride comes in with 14 points and 2 assists, and the forgotten man, the man we wanted bench, the man I wanted bench, comes in today and says, hold my beer, I'm dropping 17 points on your head. Let's go. How dare you put me on the bench, all right? The Knicks come back, man. We were down 21 points in the first quarter. Come back, pull out a win. And we're going to talk about it all. Before we talk about it, you know the deal. Shout out to Fubo TV. If you want to watch the Knicks on MSG for free for 7 days, go to FuboTV.com/KOT. You watch those Knicks, you watch your other cable channels, and there's no subscription. You can cancel whenever you want it. So shout out to Fubo TV for rocking with the KOT. All right. Now, let's me introduce my guys. First and foremost, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Big win tonight over the Sixers. And I gotta say this: no smoke for RJ tonight. Get better, Bodman. All right, no smoke tonight.
Get better.
But when you come back, you're playing defense. All right?
You're playing defense. All right. Start sliding those feet. Slide those puppies. All right, because you see what happens when the team plays defense. Stuff like this happens today. All right. And of course, you already know it's my man from the YouTube channel across the street. I call him the Raw Metaphor. It is the Raw Hebrew Remnant. What's going on, Raw?
Man, I just flipped the card. Oh, Deuce of Spades.
Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know that Deuce was out there. You didn't know the Deuce was trump card, huh? You didn't know the Deuce is trump card. I'm sorry, we got real old school spades on y'all real quick, but just shout out to the Deuce, man. And I just want to start off talking about Tom Thibodeau. Usually I complain a lot because you already know the mantra here on the KOT show. Tibbs be tibbing. Today there was no tipping today, and I was pretty shocked. Usually what happens when the bench gets you back into the game and he feels compelled to bring the starters back in and have the starters save the day. But it's not today. Today we saw the bench come in and stay in, and you saw Evan Fournier and Deuce McBride play defense, shoot threes, and close the game with your monstrous play. So you gotta I'm giving Tom Thibodeau some props today. Tibbs was not tipping today, and it paid off. And I want Thibodeau to take this moment and keep duplicating this moment for other situations, because a lot of the times on back-to-back games, he's very hesitant to play the bench. And I need him to keep this same energy even when RJ Barrett comes back. All right, and just play the people longer who are contributing to winning. That's all I want. That's all I want. And Raw, you can let me know how you feel about what I just said and about the game in general.
Yeah. Yeah, he usually relies on the preset units that he has outlined. But because RJ was out, he had to bring in Fournier. The big surprise was that he had McBride close instead of IQ.
Yeah.
That was the big surprise to me. And I'm not so sure that I think my guess that IQ wasn't feeling well. He just didn't look at himself today. So I'm thinking he wasn't feeling well. But McBride was for the last, like, I'd say week and a half, at least, he's been getting more confident by the game. And Tibbs rewarded that by keeping him on the floor. And he rewarded Tibbs by stellar defense and hitting big shots. And so you're starting to see G League McBride. That bolstered Mobb Deep. And so I think it was, and yesterday, did y'all notice yesterday that in the fourth quarter, when the Knicks made the comeback yesterday's game, he switched. He took RJ off of Kawhi and put Julius on him, and that helped the thing. So he's making subtle adjustments. Yeah. And so today he did it by putting McBride in there. Of course, you had to keep Fournier in there. He actually likes Fournier shooting, and Fournier was shooting the rock today. And so he kept him in the game. So I wasn't surprised about that. But I was surprised that McBride stayed in, especially when I saw Brunson come in. I thought for sure Quickly would be in there. So he put Brunson with McBride, which I was a little concerned about because of their height. But McBride played extremely well, so it worked out. Yeah.
Shoot, shout out to Stan. Actually, he's been clamoring for Julius Randle to play the 3 for a very long time. And I keep telling him, hell no. But listen, man, it worked the other day, and in my mind, I'm still trying to figure out how to get Obi topping some minutes. If we have issues with long wings and we need to put Randall on a long wing, maybe that's a good way to get Obi some extra minutes. I don't know. It's just spitballing here, but just spitballing here.
Well, I think it works if you have a rim protector. If you're trying to do it with one of them playing the 5 is where you have a little problem. If you could play them both in there with a Hartenstein, with a Mitch Rob, or with a Sims, I think it works better.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially the way Julius Randle's playing defense this year.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't do that last year. Last year's Julius Randle, I'm not putting that last year's Julius Randle at the 3.
Absolutely, you agree 100%. Yeah.
This year's Julius Randle sliding his feet. Yeah.
Yep.
You can play a 3.
Yep.
You can play a 3 to 5.
I watched him. That defense he played against Kawhi in the fourth quarter yesterday was tremendous. I was hyped just watching that.
Yeah, guys, back
because I was like, because he was really putting the clamps on Kawhi, and then you can allow Grimes to put all of his attention on Paul George, and that's what to me started the run that they had yesterday when they came back and took the lead. So I'm glad. Yeah, I agree with you. If you could do that, you could put them both out there, but you just got to put. If RJ's in the game, he's got to go to the 2 or he's got to go to the bench, and then you got to have a rim protector out there, and I think they would do very well with that.
I agree. Ryan G, let me know what you think about today's game. Deuce McBride, whatever else is on your heart, let me know.
Yes, I just want to point out some stats tonight. Hardenstein, plus 19.
Woo!
Evan Fournier, plus 28. Miles McBride, plus 34.
Come on, man.
Obi Toppin, plus 17.
Free Obi.
If it wasn't for the benches played today, the Knicks would have lost tonight.
Absolutely.
Because
there's a major difference.
Yeah, the starters fell behind early in the game. 21-point lead. I think at one point it was 33 to 12. Then once the bench unit came in, they started to chip back and got the Knicks back into the game. And in the fourth,
Keep going.
Oh, okay. So then in the fourth quarter, like you said, Tibbs wasn't Tibbing tonight. He went with the hot hand. McBride played well tonight, provided 14 points off the bench. Evan Fournier provided 17 points off the bench. And the bench is who really carried Knicks to this victory. And then on top of that, big baskets from Julius Randle late as well, also contributed. And there was a lot of ball movement as well. The Knicks didn't really, stick to ISO ball that much, in that fourth quarter stretch. I mean, there was still possessions where Julius Randle was isolating and Brunson, but still, I didn't think it was ineffective isolations tonight. And yeah, the Knicks just pulled out a big win tonight. They needed it.
Ryan, did you notice the plus minus for the starters?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm saying that goes to his point. I'm saying because you look at their plus minus, and if you don't have the bench doing what they did, we wouldn't win this game.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm going to continue. I'm trying to keep my composure, but we just got a $60 super chat. All right. I'm trying not to cut you off, Ryan. But we got a super. Yeah, y'all like when the Knicks.
Oh, y'all being extra generous tonight.
Okay, Gamer. Shout out to Gamer Channel. He's new to KOT.
All right.
He just started coming. He says, "Keep it up, guys. Big win by the Knicks. I like the combo of McBride, Fournier, and Grimes. Fournier hitting big shots and defense is solid. Take as much time as you need to get healthy." RJ, take as much time as you need to get healthy. The last shot at Andre, the bottom at the last second.
Yeah.
I'll overlook it since you gave the big old super chat. But
he can say whatever he wants.
You say whatever you want. And then, hold on, Glamour Knicks. I'm throwing money today. 1999 super chat from Glamour Knicks. She just wants to support the channel. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tremendously. Yeah, we outside right now. We definitely outside. Wow. All right, man. I appreciate the support, you guys. I appreciate the support we've been getting over the last month, for sure. Over the last few years, but the last months for sure. Okay, but getting back to the actual basketball talk, and I'ma just talk about Evan Fournier for a bit. Constant professional. The thing about Evan Fournier is he kind of reminds me of what this team can look like a little bit in the future, when guys like Grimes finally start hitting their threes at a more consistent clip with the defense. Because, you know, the Knicks at this point, I haven't checked, but the last I checked, we were like 25th or 26th in 3-point shooting. And when you have Brunson out there getting into the teeth of the defense and looking to kick out, and we have Grimes there kind of bricking threes sometimes, but also sometimes getting into the hole and finishing, it kind of just reminds me of, like, you know what, I can't wait to fast forward to a time when Grimes is hitting those threes at a more consistent clip, because it just changes the complexity of our offense so much, especially when you have guys like Randall and Brunson who can just punish you from the inside. So, like, the shooting was refreshing, and McBride as well. The shooting from McBride as well was also refreshing.
That's right. All right. You could tell he's been working hard on that jump shot to make sure he can hit it in the game.
Yeah.
You talking about McBride or you talking about Evan?
No, McBride. Evan just has to be ready. Evan could shoot. He just has to be ready and keep himself in shape, which listened to Richard Jefferson today. He was saying that, Evan was actually working out 45 minutes even when he wasn't playing to make sure he was ready.
Oh yeah, he ready to be traded when the time comes on. That's for sure.
Yeah. But you could tell Deuce was working on that shot, because that shot's been money for a couple of games now. So
yeah, and not only that, he's been looking more like the Deuce I was seeing in the G League and a little bit of the Summer League, where, you know, he takes guys off the dribble and pulls up for that midi or a little bit of a floater. I'm starting to see him do that a little bit more. With that aggressiveness, and he starts to also work in like a step back 3-pointer in the corner. So I like the aggression that Deuce is bringing, and as well as another guy who've been talking crap about for a long time, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah. 14 boys, 4 in the offensive end.
Yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein has.
I love how he was trying to act like he tried to pull off the Oscar against Embiid a couple of times.
Here's my thing. I love it. I love that he did that, because it was ridiculous. This man was battling Goliath, getting hit in the face, and acting just like Joel Embiid was acting, but he just wasn't getting the benefit of the calls like Joel Embiid gets the benefit of the calls.
That's right.
But I just admire the effort he put in. But what I really liked about his game today was the defensive rebounding, because that's been something that we've been sorely missing. It's a reason, part of the reason why we lost the game yesterday. Today, he got big man rebounds. Big man rebounds.
He was wrestling that ball out of people's hands, man. It was really something to see.
Wrestling the ball out of people's hands, jumping in the air, snatching it out the sky over 2 or 3 defenders. The Knicks got, I don't know how many offensive rebounds the Knicks got in general, but we got Julius Randle, who gave us 4, Sierra Sims, who gave us 4, Hartenstein, who gave us 4, Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson also gave us 1. As a team, the Knicks really dominated the second chance points, the 50-50 rebounds. We really left everything out on the floor. And that's what I love about this team. We're so scrappy. And
second night of a back-to-back, man. Second night of a back-to-back.
Who would have predicted this? Who would have predicted a team like the Knicks was going to lose? We lost to some teams we shouldn't have lost to, but take out a team who's on an 8-game road winning streak, a contending team on a night of a back-to-back. Like, we really have to give this team this flowers. Like, we took this win.
Yep, that's exactly right. They took it.
And
go ahead, Ron.
I was just saying, you would think that with the way the Knicks lost the previous game, where they lost in overtime to the Clippers, you would have thought that, they would have been drained energy-wise coming into this game, but they showed up tonight. I mean, they started off slow, but they got back in the game. They fought until they were able to pull it out.
Absolutely. Great win by the Knicks. And so hold on, 85 in the chat. Salute to the chat. And listen, we have a number. Fritz is not manning the phones right now. It's gonna be me manning the phone. So I'm trying to do 2 things at once. But if you want to call in, all you gotta do is dial 319-527-6241. That's 319-527-6241. If you want to call in and talk Knicks basketball with us. All right. Also, shout out to Jalen Brunson. Ro, I wanna ask you a question about Jalen Brunson specifically, because I know there's been a debate about whether Jalen Brunson, passes too much or too little. Today he had 7 assists. What did you think about Brunson's game today? And is it me? Does it seem like he's trying to make a concerted effort to pass the ball a lot more recently?
In the last 3 games, at least, he's made a concerted effort to move the basketball. And I look at it as the total team assists, because he has the ball in his hand most of the time. And so when you see the assist for the team rise and he's playing heavy minutes, that means he's moving the ball. So he had 7. I don't really look at the individuals much, but they had 21 for the team, which is a little low, but they had 30 last night. So that's the trend. They've been getting 28, 26, tonight 21, but I've seen him, and I was concerned earlier because he seemed so focused on shooting that it was hurting to me. It was hurting the team in a couple of ways. Not only was not everybody touching the ball, but it was giving rest to the defense, because they don't have to do anything if he's just going one-on-one. So now, though, they made the Sixers, and last night they made the Clippers work hard on the defensive end. You could see them running back and forth across court. That's because the ball was moving. And so I see Jalen Brunson now, his IQ is taking over, and he's making a much better effort. He still throws some, when he's taking the ball, he throws some stupid passes sometimes, but he only had 2 turnovers. And overall, to answer your question, yes, he is making a concerted effort to get everybody involved, and it's really showing up in the assist numbers that they're putting together.
Like, I wonder if we actually start to advance the offense a little bit more, if a little of that can be fixed up, because a lot of it is the read and react thing that Tibbs likes to give. So it's almost all on what Brunson does, how the offense really moves, outside of just, straight up timeout, out of bound plays. Then you might see something special. But I would like more ball movement outside of Brunson in general. shoot, I was watching something about Draymond Green talks about the power of the swing pass, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's a few times like we got beat last night versus the Clippers because those guys are trained to reverse the ball from one side to the other and find the open man from three. And I don't feel like we do that enough or at all. You know, it's ISO.
We don't. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
no, you're right. And in fact, tonight I noticed a couple of guys. It was last night. Hartenstein actually was telling them to do it when he came. He was telling them to move and swing the ball. And then tonight, Fournier and Deuce was telling Brunson, let me swing it. Swing it, because sometimes you get. It was obvious they would have the court stacked if Brunson is on one side. But what they should do to Julius Randle. And so he finally started swinging it. And I think, like I said, I think his IQ is going to take over and he's going to do better. And I'm noticing he's already making a concerted effort. So remember now, this is his first year running the thing. He's running it for the Knicks now. So he never did that in the NBA. So this is his first year doing that. I think he's going to be all right. We just need to let it just flow. Right now, when you see games like this, it gives me hope, right? Because you say, okay, they're starting to do it. So I think this can continue, man.
Yeah, same. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Ryan.
No, I mean, what I said about Brunson was pretty much what I said earlier. I like his isolation. When he was in isolation today, I think they were productive isolations. Like that game, I think we were talking about against the Lakers where he dropped 37. It's like, yeah, he dropped 37, but at the same time, he took 29 shots. And at the same time, a lot of those isolations were failed isolations. Like a lot of those isolations didn't go nowhere, just a bunch of over dribbling and then, passing off to a player with 3 seconds left on the clock to just throw up a prayer, whatever the case may be. But today, like Ross said, he actually put in an effort to get his other teammates involved and the ball is moving around more. I mean, 21 assists, probably, I guess it kind of shows that the ball didn't move enough, but
right.
So no, I did see enough ball movement from the Knicks tonight, especially from Brunson. So
yeah, and if you look at the, I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, look at the number of shots. He took 16 shots. Randall took 19 shots. Grimes took 11. Fournier took 11. And so they were distributing the shots, very nicely today.
Yeah. And this is my argument when people get overly critical about the assist numbers. There's two parts of the assist numbers, right? One is the passing and the other is the shot making. So when people were like, oh, they don't pass the ball enough, look at the assist. Well, if I'm driving to the hole and 3 defenders collapse on me and I dish it out to somebody who's open for 3 and they miss it, I don't get an assist. Does that mean I don't pass the ball enough? Or does that mean we can't hit open shots? And the same thing can be said about if he, gives it to Hartenstein. Because, Hartenstein was missing bunnies for a month. Yeah,
he was. Especially that little push shot he has. In the beginning of the season, he was hitting it. And then he missed it for 3 months, man.
Exactly. So when people start to go, oh, he's not passing enough, I'm like, well, yes, I can say that, but it's not all about that. Sometimes people just aren't hitting shots. And especially from 3 when Brunson is going in the middle and they collapse on Brunson. Thus the 26th, Knicks are ranked 26th from 3-point stand. So that's why today when I'm seeing Evan Fournier hitting shots, I'm just like, this is refreshing. Yeah. We need more of this.
Yeah. And Fournier plays well when the ball moves.
Yeah, for sure.
He plays much better. He gets in the rhythm when the ball is moving.
Which brings me to the next question, and shout out to somebody who put this in the chat. They asked about this team going deeper than 10 with Fournier dropping 17 today. Do you feel like Tom Thibodeau would even consider going into a 10-man rotation again, or you think this is a one-time thing?
It's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
It would be a permanent, if the Knicks would make a trade and were to get Vanderbilt and Balik, he's going to go 10 then. But for right now, he's going to stick. Fournier only played because RJ was sick. That's the only reason he played. Otherwise, he wouldn't even play. So it's not like he's going to use this one game. So, okay, I'm going to make a permanent change. He depends on Fournier to stay ready for times like this. See, but he's not going to make a permanent change now because if RJ was healthy, Fournier wouldn't have played today. Okay, and we might have lost the game. But So I don't think it's going to be a permanent change. I mean, I'm just trying to be realistic, just looking at what Tibbs does. He's going to be Tibbing, so he's going to keep that 9-1 rotation how he got. But if you give him, instead of Obi, you give him 2 guys in Vanderbilt and Beasley, I think he plays 10 then. I think he goes 10 deep.
I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? I don't know about that. I'm not even. You think he'll go 10 for Vanderbilt and Beasley?
Yeah, man. Especially he's losing Obi. He's losing Obi.
I don't know, man. Like Tibbs can be really stubborn at times, and I think,
Yeah, he can. Really, Ryan? You think so?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a smidge.
And I think when Tibbs went that 9-man rotation, I think pretty much Tibbs pretty much set that in stone. Like for the rest of the season, it's going to be a 9-man rotation. So I think even if Beasley and Vanderbilt comes in, it's going to be a 9-man rotation, but he's going to fit those guys into the rotation, and other guys are going to lose time as a result.
Yeah. I think Vanderbilt comes, if Obi gets traded, Vanderbilt comes right into the rotation. Beasley will have to work in like Fournier does if somebody gets hurt. But for next season, if they re-sign him, I don't know. I think he go 10 because Beasley's that dude. He could be that dude, man. I'm telling you.
You're really high on Beasley. I'm telling you, I'm not
like
that.
Malik, man.
I'm not that high. I mean,
I like Malik.
I like him, but I don't see him as. I see him as a Fournier. I see him as another.
I
Fournier.
do too. No, I agree. He's a younger version of Fournier.
Right.
See, he's 26. Fournier is 30, right? But he's a younger version of Fournier. So yes, I agree with you there. I agree with you. Yes, but and so what you're seeing from Fournier in terms of being able to step in and knock down threes, or one night he goes 1 for 9, I think you're going to see that from Beasley. But he's a younger version of him, so he's a little bit. Would you agree? I think he's way more athletic.
He's more athletic for sure.
Yeah, I think he's way more athletic than Fournier, but he got jumper going, and I think in his DNA coming out of the Florida State program, he's gonna play some defense on the Tibbs. He's gonna play some.
You think so? Because that's my trepidation. We already have Evan. Listen, I do not want to trade somebody just to have Tibbs sit him once again because this man isn't a defender. That's exactly what's happening with Fournier. So when I look at something like that, then I'm going, why would we do that again? You know?
Do you think? Yeah, but do you think like I'm of the mind that I don't think that Don does that twice. I think he talks to Tibbs this time and says, "What do you think about this?" And if Tibbs, it came out, Ian Begley said he wasn't with the Cam trade, and they did it anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they make that mistake twice because you'll get the same result. So I think this time they're going to talk to him and say, "What do you think about Beasley and Vanderbilt?" And they're going to, before they make a deal, I think they do that with the understanding of, okay, Tom, if we get these guys, are there going to be a chance to play or what? I mean, before they make that kind of deal.
All right. Well, I guess I'll ask you this question since we're headed here already. So we kind of here, but I kind of can tell by the tone what your viewpoint is. You already know that there's been a rumor that the Knicks are interested in trading Obi Toppin and Fournier draft compensation for Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. Your thoughts on that move, Raw?
If Tibbs will play both of them in a 10-man rotation, I'm all for that. If he creates a 10-man rotation, and so you have, and let me ask y'all, so you have a mob deep bench of Vanderbilt, Beasley, IQ, Deuce, and Hartenstein. What do y'all think about that?
I think defensively, you said Vanderbilt, Beasley, Deuce, IQ, and Hartenstein. Or Sims, whichever one he puts in the mob deep once Mitch Rob comes back. Because I believe Mitchell Robinson's come back after the All-Star break. So you're going to have either Sims or Hartenstein. So either one. So you're going to have that guy plus Vanderbilt, Beasley, Deuce, and IQ. That's your second 5. If he's going to do it that way, I go for it. If he's going to sit Malik Beasley, don't do it. Don't even waste the trade. I don't like including Obi. I think that's what it is. I don't like including Obi in that type of deal. because
no,
you
I agree with you.
have Vanderbilt, who's a great defensive player who can kind of, play like, defense 1 through 5, right? But he scores like 8 points a game. So he's considered like a low level. He's considered a role player who's a defensive guy and not even like a 3-and-D guy. Like the 3 is coming, but it's not there.
That's right.
So,
and you're right.
So, and then you have Beasley, who, gives you 13 points a game. So it's like, if I'm looking at giving up compensation, like I'm looking at giving up something to match salaries. I don't want to give up OV for those guys. Like,
I hear you. I mean, if they say no, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna cry about trading OB at all. I like a deal for Kevin Durant with OB involved in it than this one. But I hear you. I mean, but if you're going to tell me, I'm not going to worry about, I don't think we're going to be worse. I think we'd be better if we had those 2 guys. I'm not saying they would take us to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I think we'd have a stronger Mob Deep. I actually like more, as far as just strengthening the bench, I like Alex Caruso deal but better because he would strengthen Mob Deep and we wouldn't have to give up a whole lot to get him.
Right. Like for me, I already know that. What are they looking for, right? They're looking for like a first for each one of them, protected first for each one of them. And you know how it is in the NBA. They overprice certain guys. Like I like Vanderbilt's potential, but do you think he's worth a protected first?
No,
go ahead, Ryan.
I think the protected first from the Knicks side is for them taking on Evan Fournier's contract.
Yeah, I think it's that. That is that. Just because they're going to send him Evan Fournier's deal. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this guy was drafted 11th. That is Vanderbilt. He's drafted 11th. He's a Kentucky guy, coming out of 2018. I like him. I like him defensively. Defensively, he's Tibbs. That's Tibbs' guy, right?
No, I like him defensively. I would like him on this team for sure.
Yeah.
Just not for Obi, but I would like him.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I love Obi Toppin, man. I do. To me, he's too good to be. If he, as long as, like I tell people, if he agrees to keep coming off the Knicks bench, keep him because he's all-star potential to me. If you send him to Utah and he starts, he's going to get you 20 and 8. He's going to get you 28.
Yeah.
If he's 20 points, 8 rebounds every game, that's going to be Obi Toppin. And we're going to say, "Dang, we could have got that," but you can't get that because you got Julius Randle. See?
Right.
So I mean. Yeah, it's a tough call, man. I ain't gonna front. It's a tough call.
I agree, man.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I said, for me personally, this is why I would make the trade because I know everybody is hype about Obi Toppin and this and that, but I think people are overvaluing his value in the market at the moment because the Knicks don't play him a lot. So people thinking that you can trade Obi for this player or that player, an impact player, whatever the case may be, that might not be realistic based on his value in the market. So you have to think about it like this, like, okay, you have Julius Randle, he's playing great. Obi is not going to get much time here because Julius Randle is here. And the Knicks are not going to move Julius Randle because of the way he's playing. He's an all-star player. So you have to try and look at deals where it's like, okay, how can I include Obi in a deal where you're going to possibly improve the team? If you look at Vanderbilt and you look at Beasley, Vanderbilt fulfills a need. The Knicks do not have wing defenders. Knicks need a wing defender. Vanderbilt fits that need, and he's still young on top of that.
And he can guard the 4s as well as 3s.
Exactly, and then you get a score in Beasley where we talk about this dude's terrible defense, but I mean, if you look at his defensive rating, like historically, it's probably the system that he's in. Because when he was in Denver, his defensive rating was much better.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the guy can defend. It probably is the system that he's in at the moment that why his defensive rating has been up a bit. So
yeah, I don't know a guy that comes out of Leonard Hamilton's program that doesn't know how to play defense. They all do. I mean, Jonathan Isaac does, Trey Mann does. They all do, man. They just know how to play defense. Everybody coming out of that system. Then of course, Scotty Barnes. Everybody coming out of that system can play defense. So if he hasn't been playing it in Minnesota or Utah, believe me, when he comes to Tibbs, he's gonna play defense, man.
Oh, you're not gonna play
defense. That's right. He's gonna play defense. So I don't think we can have a problem there. So that's why I'm with Ryan in that regard. But I can see just as easily not doing it. But to me, Obi is a starter. So he goes to Utah, he starts. Vanderbilt is a rotation piece, but not a starter.
Right.
He comes to New York and he fits better with what we're doing. So that's all I'm saying. But and when I talked about a bigger deal, I'm talking about, like, I was talking today. If Kevin Durant asked for a trade, tell me what y'all think. If Kevin Durant asked for a trade, my best deal would be 4 number ones, 3 unprotected, 1 protected, with RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin for Kevin Durant. What would y'all do?
I think
What would
that
and if he asked for a trade, would you inquire to try to get him? And what would you offer?
if he asked to be traded here, I definitely would inquire. But me knowing the Nets organization and Joe Tsai, like those, Joe Tsai is petty as hell, man. Joe Tsai is not
I
trying
didn't know
to trade
that.
with the Knicks.
I didn't realize he was so petty, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was so petty like that.
You haven't been watching all last summer?
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's Kevin Durant saying, I don't like the coach and I demand all this. That's kind of childish on his part. But I'm saying, if the Nets are going to trade Durant, then they're going to commit to a rebuild. And
Right.
so if you're trying to rebuild, the 2 things you want is draft assets and young players. And so you're trading all your vets, that you can trade. And then Kevin Durant's your biggest fish. So we'd be giving them 4 number 1 picks. Okay. And then we'd be getting automatically, you put Kevin Durant with Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Brunson, and Grimes, you're an Eastern Conference finalist team right there. See? So, and that's how big of an impact he is. So if you put that and you're trading away 4, and even if you're the Knicks, you can't trade away back-to-back number ones. So you could give them odd years and you still got a plethora of picks. So I think I would give them the 4 number, and I'm not sure of any other team that can give that combination of picks with established young players that the Knicks can.
Well, Kevin Durant on any team makes any team interesting contenders.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yep.
So I get that thinking. But I would say, but the Pelicans, the Pelicans are, when the whole KD trade stuff was happening before, I'm looking at the Pelicans going, to me, it makes the most sense for the Pelicans.
It makes a lot of sense. Who would you trade from the Pelicans?
Like, they got Brandon Ingram there, who's like KD light. So I can see them doing Brandon Ingram. They have a bunch of Laker picks they got from the AD trade. They have Kyra Lewis over there, who's a young point guard that just lost a point guard. And, he has all the potential, but he's just been injured with the ACL injury.
No, you're right. That is a potential, definitely, competition for the Knicks, for sure.
So I would think if anybody was in position to trade for KD and KD would okay it, it would be the Pelicans to me.
I understand that. I can't argue that. But I would say, and I'm not saying that the Knicks are a slam dunk, but I'm saying I would offer them 4 number ones, RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin. They get 2 young players. They get 4 number 1 picks. I would give them 3 unprotected, and I would give them 1 protected pick, either the Dallas pick or the Bucks 2027 top 4 protected pick. And I would keep, and then we still got a lot of picks.
Yes.
And so I would do that. And then, to me, that starts their rebuild. And at the same time, the Knicks are now what the Nets were supposed to be.
You think they're not going to ask for Grimes or IQ? Because I would.
They could. No, they would definitely ask for Grimes, but I would hold off on Grimes if I could. And if the deal got done, if they said, okay, we don't want RJ, but we'll take Grimes, I'll do that. I would do that. Everybody's available for Kevin Durant, but I don't want to give up too many guys. I'd rather give up too many picks. So if I could give them 4 picks and then take 2 young players. Okay, so if they said, okay, I'm gonna look at yourself, I want Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes. Okay, I hate to do that, but if you're giving me Kevin Durant, I could put RJ Barrett at the 2.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems I can't see it. I can't see the Nets doing business.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm just saying they may not do it, but I'm saying that's, if you're telling me he's going to be asking for a trade and we're going to make a phone call, that's my deal. That's
right.
all I'm saying. Well, they may reject it. They may reject it, but I'm saying that's my deal.
I hear you. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Well, the thing is, if we trade for KD, then that's going to definitely accelerate the process. You know, Knicks have to think championship now. And I think even with, you know, a trade of bringing KD to the Knicks, I do think the Knicks might have to make another move or two to become a legit like championship team. Like they'll go far in the playoffs with KD, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and those guys. Like those guys will definitely wreak havoc in the East. I don't know if they're a championship caliber team yet. So it's like you have to change your mentality like ASAP from, you know, we're building the young players to championship now. So I mean,
I think it becomes way easier personally. But go ahead. Sorry.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I know people saying we should go after KD. I'm not 100% on board with that. I'd much rather go after a younger star and continue to build, but yeah, like the Knicks, I think the Knicks are still like a move away or so, even after they get KD, even if they make a trade like that, if the Knicks are seriously supposed to think championship. But
all right, so what are they missing once, let's say they get KD, right? So you got the starting five, KD, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Grimes, and Brunson. You don't have RJ no more. You don't have Obi Toppin no more, but you got on your bench, you got Sims, Hartenstein, and I believe Sims could play some four. So you got Sims, Hartenstein, Deuce, and What are you missing?
Yeah,
I would still strengthen the bench. I would still get like a legit bench piece, like a guy that can come into the game where it's like kind of like a guy like IQ. Like I would want like one more guy on the bench like that, where whether it's a wing or whatever the case may be, where when he comes into the game, it's immediate impact like IQ. Like I would still go after like one more piece like that on the bench if I was to make a move.
Honestly, it's like that's easy. Like once you have the top 15 player in the building and a 3D guy to start, and hit Brunson and Randall and a rim protector, like the other stuff is easy at that point. Like
I don't think that's a difficult move.
That's not difficult at all. You can
Especially
mid-level exception guys and bring people in.
Exactly. You're looking for like a trade deadline guy you can bring in a vet looking for that ring on a minimum contract. You can get that. I think you can get that. And then I would try to keep one of my picks from this year. I give them all kind of picks, but I keep this one because I want Chris Murray.
Right.
I want Chris Murray, man.
Yeah, but I can't see that happening. Like my mind, knowing the Knicks and the Nets relationship, knowing the contention between both teams, knowing how petty Josiah is, knowing how petty Dolan is, I can't even see them getting on the phone and talking for 10 minutes. So like to me, this whole scenario is just like
Dolan would have Leon make that call. Dolan would have Leon make that call. Man. He's not even gonna get involved.
I mean, Leon, I'm sorry.
Leon make that call.
Fun, like KD really not coming here. Like Nets are not going to trade KD to the Knicks. Like that would be they're not going to do that.
No.
Well, I mean, if you're the GM, who's the GM? Marks? Who's the GM with the Nets? Is it Marks? Sean Marks? Is he still the GM? Yeah, if you're the GM or president of basketball operations of the Nets and you're committing to a rebuild, do you care where you send him? As long as you get the assets to rebuild, what do you care who he goes to? Whichever team gives you the best package, that's where you should be getting.
That's not always
and no, it shouldn't. I know. I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying if you're going to be smart about it, like the only other team, like you mentioned, New Orleans, they could give you an equivalent package to the Knicks. They could because they could give you Brandon Ingram. They could give you the 4 number ones. Yeah. They can throw in another young player, like you mentioned, Kyra Lewis. They could do that.
Yeah, but like Utah literally just played us because they didn't like us. Literally was like, nah, we only giving homie up for 4 unprotected picks, and then turned around the very next day and gave him up for 3. So
but that's Danny Ainge, man. That's Danny Ainge, though.
In theory, it should happen like that. You get the best deal possible, but we see these guys and owners, they have feelings. They're petty. They're not trading Kyrie to the Lakers because Kyrie wants to go to the Lakers. Like that's then it came out with Stephen A. said that Danny Ainge didn't want to trade to us because we were sitting in the stands. Like this is how they operate, yo. Like
No, I hear you. That kind of stuff does make a difference sometimes. But I'm just saying, okay, again, if they put the offer out there and the Nets said no, they just say no. But I'm saying I would do that deal if they accepted it. That's all I'm saying. If they were to accept that deal, I would. Whether they accept it or not, to me, I'm not worried about that. I put the best deal out there. If it doesn't work, we look elsewhere. Just like we did with Mitchell. Okay, we put the best deal that we could put on the table. If you don't want that, okay, we look elsewhere. Done. Okay, but that's all I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. All they could say is no. So you can say, I'm offering you 4 number ones. I'm offering you RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin. All they could say is no. If they say no, okay, we move on. But I'm saying that's the best deal I would offer.
I hear you. I'm holding out. I mean, not I'm holding out, but I just my brain can't even go there. My brain can't even go there.
I mean, I'm saying they could say no, but I'm saying if that's all they could do is tell me no, that's not going to stop me from making the phone call.
I hear you.
I'm gonna make the phone call, and I'm telling you what I'm gonna give you. And if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't, and we move on. If Joe starts saying, hell no, I'd rather trade him for 2 picks from Dallas or something. Okay, go ahead. I'm just saying we that's our offer. That's all.
Yeah, I hear you.
So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. Let's say KD was on the market, okay, and you see, of course, you're gonna know 29 teams are calling about it, right? And the Knicks didn't. What would you feel about that?
What would I feel?
Yeah, how would Knicks Nation say, okay, the Knicks never made a phone call to inquire about Kevin Durant?
I mean, there'll be LOL Knicks like usual, but like what else is new?
Yep.
Yeah, of course, the Knicks would be up in arms if everybody's calling about KD and the Knicks don't make one call. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
KD's a generational talent, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So they got to make a phone call, and so that's all I'm saying. If he and I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a 90% chance he asked for a trade this summer. So if that's the case, you got to make a call, and if you make that call, you pick up that phone, you got to be ready to do a deal if they accept it. So what deal are you doing? That's what I'm saying.
I hear you. Listen, I already said it a long time ago, not even a long time, like a month ago. We're an elite wing. To me, we're an elite wing away from really making noise and being contenders. Because when I'm looking at Jalen Brunson and I'm looking at the elite shot making he does at all 3 levels, and then I'm looking at Julius Randle, and Julius Randle 9 times out of 10 has the matchup advantage over most power forwards in the NBA. And then I'm looking at Mitch, you can call it the middle, and I'm like, all right, cool. We all we need is Grimes to grow up and hit more threes and be that defensive guy, and we really need a defensive wing to really put it all together. So I'm looking at a team in entirety. I'm looking at RJ Barrett, and I'm going, okay, this is your time to shine. Like, if you start to hit threes, play some defense, and for me, the swing skill for RJ is really the playmaking, then we can really start to roll over some teams. Because as today, we're in a lot of games, and we just have to finish games. And what's been happening at the end of these games are, 1, we haven't been hitting 3-point shots. 2, when Jalen Brunson is starting to cook, the other team is putting taller, longer guys on him to slow him down, which means now you have to have your other playmaker finish the game because they're neutralizing Jalen Brunson. And when I'm looking at Julius Randle is not that guy who is going to make the right basketball play and be a closer consistently outside of that Celtics game. So to me, it has to be RJ who takes over the game when there's length on Brunson, who takes over the game, hits 3-point shots, and more importantly, even set people up and then pass the ball when he's double and triple team. So I'm looking for RJ to take that leap, or eventually we might have to find an elite wing to make that leap for us.
I was going to ask you that. So let's say, because really, I think a lot of us expected RJ to take a bigger leap this year. He's taken. Now, he's still only 22 years old. But if you want to make that run, let's say in the next year, like say you want to make that run next year, who would you look at? Like, okay, I'm looking at the free agent market for shooting guards and small forwards. So you're talking about James Harden, which you know, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Karis LeVert, Gary Trent Jr., Malik Beasley. And I'm looking at guys that could play the wing, which means they could play small forward. Dylan Brooks. And that's really all I see as far as possibilities, the realistic possibilities. These are all free agents this summer. And then on the small forwards, let me see here. On the small forwards, Chris Middleton, no. Harrison Barnes, Kelly. They got Kelly Oubre listed as a small forward. Oh yeah, he is small forward. Okay. I don't like any of these guys, but they got Cam Reddish listed as a small forward too. But I don't know. I'm just saying, who could we get that's possible realistically? That's what I'm saying. If we could get, if Kevin Durant was there, oh my God.
Well, yeah, those guys are like, you know, those guys are guys who are going to make us better, but they're not going to get us a chip, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like guys like Josh Hart would be ideal from the Portland Trailblazers. I know
he's a little small for he's a little small for that spot.
He's a little bit small. He definitely is a little bit small.
So like, but you say you want length, right? So you need somebody 6'6", 6'7", right, or bigger, or even right?
Yeah, to really be switchable.
Yeah,
I do like Jeremy Grant. I'm not sure what.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Grant
actually would be perfect.
But he's also looking for a crazy contract as well, though.
Yeah, he is. They're going.
Jeremy Grant is actually exactly somebody
he would be exactly.
He's exactly what we need.
What's he looking for?
Switchable wing, he could hit threes. That's exactly what we need.
What's he looking for? 100 million? What's he looking for?
I think Portland offered him like a 4-year, like 100 and I want to say like 112 million. I can't remember the exact details.
And he turned it down.
Rejected it because coming into the summer, I think he can like request like 4 years and like significantly more money. I don't remember the exact numbers.
Okay.
That's why he rejected it. So he's going to be looking for a big contract.
Yeah, he signed a 3-year, $60 million deal when he was on Detroit, and he's on that deal now. Sheesh. So he's probably looking at 120 this one. Damn. I mean, see, that's another team. You'd have to make a trade to get him. You'd have to trade a guy like RJ to get him because RJ and that money would match. So you have to trade a guy like RJ to get him. So would you trade RJ for Jeremy Grant?
Yo. Don't ask me that on camera.
No, I'm saying though, but I think the Knicks would be a lot better though. I mean, really?
Raw, I'm not gonna lie. I might do that.
I would do that deal. I love RJ Barrett. Everybody knows I'm a big RJ supporter. I would do that deal though.
I might do that.
I ain't even going front.
That means you have Brunson. Yeah, Brunson, Grimes, Grant,
Mitch Rob, Randall. You still have Obi. You still have Hartenstein and Sims. You still got Deuce and IQ.
I would do that.
Would be done. And you trade them straight up. Oh my gosh.
I would do that deal. Damn.
What about you, Ryan? Would you do that?
Yeah, so these are the specific details. So yeah, the Blazers did offer him a 4-year, $112 million extension, but he rejected it because if he waits for the summer, other franchises can offer him 4 years, $174 million.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
4 years, $174 million.
174 over 4.
Themselves would be able to offer him 5 years, $230 million.
Nah, he's not that. Come on, son.
All right, let's look at his stats. All right, so now he's 28. He shoots 42% from 3 on 6 attempts. He shoots 80% from the line. You know he plays defense. Damn.
That's too much.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of
That's
freaking
too
money,
much, man.
But dude, does he give us a chip though? That's the key. Does he give us a chip? If you replace RJ with him, are we in the ECF? That's all.
The chip though. He makes it better, but it's not a chip.
Does he move us to the Eastern Conference Finals? Are we in that conversation?
I don't know.
I second
round.
Nah, I think we're in the Eastern Conference Finals with him. I think we are. I think Jeremy Grant is way underrated, man. I think he's way underrated. I like him. I would give him the money. I would give him the money. I think he's way underrated, especially if he's unrestricted. All we gotta do is sign him. And that means we keep our team. We keep our team intact, and we just add him.
He gives you the threes. He gives you the defense. We're not getting cooked. He can post a little bit.
Yes, and he can play the 3 or the 4. So you can play him with Mobb Deep if you want to. You could. I have to do that. I have to do that, man. I have to. I'm sorry. Man. It's a little bit of an overpay. I agree. I would think his realistic market value is about 150. I really think that he's really 140, 150. But this is the NBA. You know, new deals, new TV deals, and all that. I give him the 174, and I go for the chip now because I think we could do that. I think we could do that, man. I would do it.
People in the chat, yo, I need to figure out how to. I never actually
figured
out how to do the poll.
Put a poll out, man.
How do you do the poll? I never actually figured out how to do the poll.
All right, look under. You see the chat, right? You see the dollar sign. Next one, there's another sign under there.
Okay.
On yours.
Engage your audience.
Hit that sign. Yes, hit that, and then either you can ask a question or do a poll.
All right, let me see. Cause I need to do a poll. All right, here we go. Start poll.
All right. Yep. So now you say, would you trade RJ Barrett for Jeremy? No, would you pay Jeremy Grant $174 million?
I want to do both.
Well, you'd have to. You couldn't keep them both. So you're going to have to.
No, I mean, would you
RJ.
trade? I want to know if they would have traded RJ for Jeremy first. I want to know.
Okay. Yeah. Because Portland would get nothing if he walks away. Portland would get nothing. He's on the last year of his deal.
Would you trade RJ Barrett for Jeremy Grant?
So let me just think about this now. So 100. So he'd be getting 43 million in it. Okay. So let me see. So if he gets 43 million, we'd have to send him 35 million.
Is the poll up?
I don't see it yet. It should be coming up though. It should be coming up.
I actually really like the idea of having Jeremy Grant here. It's
Man,
just that
you
money
give him
is crazy.
Jeremy Grant, and then he's in his prime, and he wants that chip. Oh my gosh, he get his money. I like that, man. I hate to give up RJ, but for that, I'm telling you, we're right there in the top 4 of the East. We're right there, top 4 in the East.
I still think Knicks need another piece though on top of Jeremy.
You mean because
the thing is,
remember now, Ryan, we wouldn't be giving up anything for Mobb Deep. They would come back.
Cause you know what it is, Raw? Like usually the guys who really win the big one are guys who have teams who have top 15 type of talent.
I agree with you. No, you got to have a superstar.
Right. So we have a lot of like on the edge guys.
We got a whole bunch of Robins, no Batman.
Yeah. It would be like so we're saying we're not gonna do it that way. We're just gonna be like
we're trying to be the
Pistons or something.
We're trying to be like the 2004 Detroit Pistons.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
we trying to do it like the Pistons and get dirty.
Mitchell
and
Robinson
then have a bunch of like on the cusp all-star guys.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Because
that's exactly right. Julius Randle becomes Rashid. Mitch Rob becomes Wallace.
Yeah, exactly.
Brunson becomes Mr. Big Shot. Oh yes, we have this. Yep, that's right. Richard Hampton is Grimes. I mean, there you go. That's it.
Yo, is this poll up?
I don't see it.
It's like the way I look at it though. It's like if the Knicks were to make that move, like I think the Knicks would be like the Atlanta Hawks, like a few years ago. Like they'll win like a lot of games in the regular season, but then when they run into like a Giannis or somebody like that in the playoffs, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I can hear you, Ryan. I hear you on that, but I mean, Ryan, though, isn't there a possibility they could be better than that? Though it's just possible, right? I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's not like a super team, but you will have a damn good team right there. I mean, daggone. And you'll be it won't be even like, well, who's going to make the playoffs this year? No, the Knicks will be in the playoffs. We just want to know how far can they go, you know? Right. So, I mean, and I'm also counting on, like you see how Jayla said, well, if RJ makes that next step, well, I'm saying in this scenario, I'm looking for everybody. I'm looking for Grimes, and I'm looking for Brunson, and I'm looking for all of those guys, Obi, Deuce, IQ. I'm looking for all those guys, Sims to make a next step. I'm looking for all those guys to make a next step. And so if we can get that, and I believe they're all, I'm not saying any of them will be superstars, but to make a next step up from where they are now, that's entirely possible. That's entirely possible, man. And all of those open looks that RJ gets would be Jeremy Grant's, who shoots 42%.
Yeah.
On 9.
Like he's literally what we, hold on.
Yeah.
So
he gets 6 attempts a game and shoots 41.5, 5.6 attempts, 41.5 he is from the 3-point line.
And he can post, and he can post and play make like a little bit too. So
and he can play some. He made his career on defense. That's when he was in Denver. That's what got him the big money, because he could play defense. So he's a defender. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know.
Okay,
I would do that. I would do it if I was the Knicks. I'm not even sure he would want to come to New York, but I'm saying it's like the KD question. Would he even want to come to New York? I don't know.
So is it safe to say, Roy, you're for, because we had a conversation the other day about trading Julius Randle, because you already know conversations. It's a bunch of people who want to trade Julius Randle now to sell high on him, and I don't know, for me, that doesn't make sense, that because they want to get, they're like, you know what, Randall's playing out of his mind now. Let's trade Randall now. We already see what the trade market is today. Guys are asking for multiple picks left and right. So why not trade Randall now, get multiple picks, and then try to get a star after we do that? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
All right, two things. I try to combine what I want to see with what I believe the Knicks want. The Knicks do not want to trade Julius Randle. I don't believe they do. If they were going to do it last year, it would have been perfect time to do it, but they're not going to do it, even though his trade value is high. Number one, I believe he's got the full support of the entire organization from Dolan down. And so I don't think they're going to trade him. So I don't think, to me, just based on that, it's not even worth discussing. But
right,
if you were going to trade him, okay, so you got a guy that's going to be a 2-time All-Star in the last 3 years, possibly All-NBA again, okay? So what you would, just looking at, take his name and his position and everything out, you say you got a player that's 28 years old, he's going to be a 2-time All-Star and a 2-time All-NBA player. What do you want for him? You're going to want something of equal value, okay? So you're not going to get it. That's the problem. You're not going to get it. So, because a team that, let's look at the Nets just hypothetically. If the Nets were going to rebuild, let's say they're going to trade KD because they're going to rebuild, they're not going to take Julius Randle. He's not a rebuilding guy. That's not going to, why are you going to do that? You're not doing that. So you need a team that would need a Julius Randle that believes that Julius Randle could take them to the next level. And then what are they going to give us of equal value? Or are you just trading him for picks and salary and you're going to start Obi? They're not going to do that. I mean, I wouldn't mind starting Obi, but they're not going to do that. They're just not going to. So I think that the wasted of the breath of life that we get on talking about trading Julius, we should save that breath for better energy, because it's not going to happen. They're not trading him. So and that's why Obi's name is coming up, because they're not trading him.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason, somebody asked in the chat, why wouldn't Grant want to come here? Because of fans like us. That's why. Because of fans like us and Mark Berman and guys like that, they don't want. There's a lot of guys that don't want to come here. They don't mind visiting the Garden to play under the lights and then leave, but they don't want to come here. So I don't know if he would come here or not. I don't know, but and it's not. And somebody asked, why would Portland do that? Because he can walk for nothing. That's why. Because this summer, Grant can walk for nothing. That's why Stanley Mann's asking, why would they do that? Because he can walk and he can still sign with the Knicks.
The same reason why the Nets traded Kyrie Irving.
Exactly. He could walk for nothing this summer, so you could get something for him. That's why they would do it.
Yeah, that shout out Mark Berman was OD. Shout out to Mark, man.
No, but I'm saying is that's why guys don't want to come. They don't want to face Bermans every day after every game. Tibbs does it. Tibbs does it very well. He faces the media after every game. Even RJ couldn't do it. And RJ's a guy that stands up. But is hard to do. There's no media like New York media, and there's no fans like New York fans. Passionate, overbearing, short-sighted. If you don't score 100 points and we're not in the finals, you suck. I mean, that's how they do. So, or if you have one bad game, your career is over.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's facts.
People mad we mid right now. I'm just like, we wasn't mid last year. We sucked last year. So mid is a step up. Like, we need to be building, but it isn't.
Right.
Right. 3 games over 500. Let's fire Thibs. Trade that player. Let's go get this.
And that's what I was saying to somebody today. I said, you got a guy that's 2-time coach of the year on 2 different teams. He's going to take a rebuilding team to their second playoff appearance in 3 seasons. He's a winning coach, and you're talking about fire him. I mean, oh my gosh, man. Damn, Red Auerbach couldn't coach in New York without being, people talk about firing. Popovich couldn't do it. I mean, I'm saying it's crazy here. So not everybody wants to be here. Tibbs wanted this job. This was his dream job.
Yeah.
He wanted this job. So
I'll say what I keep saying. Definitely like the job that Tibbs has done since he's been here. I still feel like there's an expiration date on him because of the lack of adjustments that he makes on the offensive end of the ball, and he's not really imaginative on the side. But he does get people to compete, and he gets people to really defend at a high level. So as long as we're winning the way we're supposed to be winning, I think he'll be here and should be here. But I do feel like there'll become a time where we're going to have to be more imaginative with the offense in like a playoff series, and he's not going to be able to do that, and that's when the change is going to happen. That's what I feel like.
Well, wait, let me ask you a question. Who gets imaginative in the playoffs? And how does that look like? What does imaginative look like? I don't see anybody going away from what they did to get to the playoffs in the playoffs. They make adjustments, but they don't go away from what they did. Yeah,
they make adjustments. Like he doesn't make adjustments. He doesn't make adjustments enough.
To me, I just look at the stats. They're scoring a lot of points, man. I don't understand. If they scoring 120 points, I don't understand what the problem is. To me, the defense is the problem. If they can get D'd up, if they can make 3 stops in a row, that's how you win the playoffs. You got to make timely stops, man. But and they did it today. They definitely did it today.
Right.
So if they can keep doing that, the offense it's not pretty. It's not New York Knicks of Clive Frazier and Bill Bradley offense. No, it's not Golden State Warriors pre-moving offense, but they get the job done. They score points, man. And now if they keep doing that, I don't know. I'm not worried about the offense too much.
I'm worried about both sides. I'm like, you have to play defense, of course, but then at certain points, like there's two things that I feel like happens in the playoffs, right? You're gonna have to have ISO players for sure who can break down the defense on their own, because usually at the end of the day, those top players who are good offensively, those are what you rely on. But then there's going to be times when they're not on the floor, and you're going to need a system to be able to get you easier shots outside of that ISO. And when I'm looking at like what Tibbs is doing, like I don't see him advancing on that side of the basketball where he's like, you know what? Let's just not have Grimes sitting in the corner all day. Let's run Grimes off a couple of screens and have him be a movement shooter. Or let's not just do pick and roll with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson all day. Let's do like a side pick and roll with Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes, because both of them can shoot. And or let's play small for a second. I just watched the Utah Jazz last year refuse to go small for a good stint and lose because they kept going to Gobert in the middle. So like I don't know if Tom is capable of doing that for long stretches of time, which is why I feel like I'm not sure what he's going to like. Today was an outlier, we had Deuce McBride.
Well, maybe that's what I'm saying. I'm going to say he was setting picks for Deuce McBride, and Brunson was running a 2-man game.
Right.
And you notice that Grimes and Julius is pretty much anxious. It looks like to run 2-man game with Grimes. It's imploring him to shoot. So I don't know. Let's let it. To me, I don't worry about it too much. I think it's an organic, not to quote my man, organic, but it's an organic process. I think over the course of the season, it will work itself out. I'm not as worried about the offense. They're scoring points. Brunson is a tremendous break you down off the dribble player. Randall's becoming one, like that as well. So, and I think you still don't forget about Quickly because he does the same thing. So I think we're doing all right. I mean, yes, can they be better? Are they in a championship window right now? No. But if you give me a KD or you give me a Jeremy Grant and everybody takes the next step up, I think we'll be all right. I think so. I think we'll be all right.
I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? What's this poll looking like? Hold on.
Oh yeah, what is the poll? There's only 38 votes.
And Ryan hasn't said anything in a minute. He's just been enjoying the show. What do you have any thoughts, Ryan?
That's true.
Yeah, I would just letting y'all just run with it. But I mean, me personally, I think I'd be, yeah, I mean, hey, like, my mind is like blank right now, but.
No, but you know what though? Tibbs, I believe, will finish out his 5 years, and then I think Johnny Bryant will take over. And I think it'll be a good thing because I think they're grooming Johnny Bryant for that. Because remember what Julius said, it was the conversation he had with Johnny Bryant that changed him.
Yeah.
Johnny Bryant said, if you were your teammate and you played and acted like you did last year, would you want to still be your teammate?
I would hope that would be the case, but from looking at what the Knicks usually do, like they like to bring the names in here. Like I remember Mike Miller coaching better than Fizdale.
Hornacek and Fizdale. Yep.
And then when it was time to hire people, they overlooked them. And I also remember when Tibbs was hired, they also hired Mike Woodson. And on top of that, they also hired Kenny Payne. So I almost kind of feel like they were bringing Tom Thibodeau here and bringing those guys in as a fail-safe to maybe hire one of those guys. But then both of those guys left. So I think that might have been the actual original plan, was to probably hire Woodson or something.
Well, the reason I would say no is because of the titles. They gave only Johnny Bryant the associate head coach title. The other guys were assistant coaches.
Right.
And so they gave Johnny Bryant the associate head coach title. And Bryant, if you notice now, he gets in Thibodeau's ear on the sidelines a lot more this year than he did last year. So I'm thinking they're grooming him. Tibbs, as much as he loves this job, he's 65? How old is he? He's like 65 or something like that. So he can't keep doing this forever. And I think the 5-year deal that he has is he's going to finish with. He with all of the hate out there, he's done a tremendous job for the Knicks. He's been winning. If they make the playoffs this year, second playoff appearance in 3 seasons, and don't let him win a first round series. He stays as long as he wants. But I'm thinking I think the plan is for him to do a 5-year deal. And then that's part of a 5-year plan. And then you have Johnny Bryant step right in and take over and be the coach of the Knicks hopefully for a long time. And that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I would like that. I would like somebody to actually build on the system we have instead of tearing it down and building a completely new one. So I would like for us to do that. I don't know what his experience level is. I know he's been around Dallas as an assistant coach and he's coming here, and Utah. But just being familiar with the guys already, being familiar with the systems already, knowing what they run, and then going, you know what, let's add some more movement here. I feel like that's what we need. Because like we said, Tibbs is a culture setter, culture builder. So I feel like there's definitely blocks to be built here, but there's still certain things I would tweak. And I mentioned some of those a little bit earlier, even defensively. I know, people can complain about drop coverage a lot. Like I would like to see less of the drop coverage from 3-point shooting. I would like to see other things, but it just hasn't happened. But
well, do you think that the Knicks as a team would develop over the next 2 seasons to be a better team?
Yeah, like for sure. Like this is Brunson's first year here. First year as a leader, being a guy. He's gonna get better. We have Quickly, he's gonna get better. We have Julius Randle just needs to stay there. We have so many young guys contributing to winning. I think we'll be better as long as we can monetarily keep the team together, But I think we'll get better as time goes on, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking at us as a 50-win team next year, even with the exact same guys. I'm looking with as a 50-win team next year because of the continuity, which the Knicks have not had. Before Thibodeau, we were changing all our fives every year. It's crazy. But I think now we've got some continuity, especially the last 2 seasons. And now, we were all clamoring for the young guys to get playing time. And now Tibbs is trusting all of the young guys they drafted. So I think that's going to get better. And because of that, I like what we're looking like. I like what they're looking like. And I think over the next couple of seasons, they'll be better, which is why I can see a nice smooth handoff between Thibodeau and Johnny Bryant.
Yeah. I'm seeing people asking about a couple of players. Bones Highland.
He's not available.
I heard he might be available. I was looking. I don't know.
Really?
I saw something on Twitter that he was available.
Bones Highland?
Yeah, that's what I heard. No, Bones is a baller.
If NBA Central said it, you can just wipe your behind with that toilet paper. But that's how much I respect them. But so I wanted, if one of the 3 wise men said it, that'd be different. But I think if I'm Denver, I'm keeping him, man. Why would they? You want to keep him?
I don't know. I saw it in passing, so I never actually investigated it. But I did hear that he was available.
To me, it doesn't make logical sense. I'm like, why would they do? I'm looking at Denver right now. All right, so I'm looking at their top lineup. Highland is part of a plus 61 lineup, the number 1 lineup they have. He's part of the second best lineup, the number 2 lineup they have. To me, they don't trade this guy. There's no way they don't trade him, man. He's quickly for them. Yeah.
People asking about Jordan Clarkson too. Also love Jordan Clarkson. The thing with this is dealing with Utah in general, especially the big pieces they have, it's just going to be tricky. Just our luck. The pieces that we want are held by 2 of the biggest Knicks haters.
Yeah, right. Nick haters, man.
And Usai and Danny Ainge. So go figure.
Masai Ujiri and Danny Ainge, man. You don't want to deal with them, man.
Jordan Clarkson is going to be.
Is Clarkson expiring though? Let me just see. I think he's expiring. He's got a player option for the coming summer.
Yeah.
So he'd be looking for a new deal.
And let's see. Jeremy Grant. We have Jeremy. Okay, the poll right now. 52% of y'all say yes, they would trade RJ Barrett for Jeremy Grant. So it's
close though. That's very close.
It's very close.
That's very close.
52% say yes.
Yeah, I would do that because Grant is RJ in 3 years now. So I like that. I would take
Grant
that.
Is longer than I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't see RJ being that good defensively.
In 3 years?
Nah, I can't see.
He's only 22 now. I don't know. I'm just saying, but I do that in a heartbeat.
I mean, his body profile is different than RJ's. You know what I'm saying?
And I hate to give him that kind of money, but I would do it because I believe he's that dude to get us to that next level. With everybody that we got, I would do that. How old is? Let me see. Jeremy Grant is 28.
Yeah,
I would do that, man.
Let me bring you out something. Let's talk about something else real quick. We talked about Kyrie Irving, right?
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait to go into work Monday.
What?
I can't.
Kyrie?
No, there's this one Nets fan.
Oh, tripping about. Okay.
He sits right by the window on the left side. I have to walk by him before I get to my desk. And, we just got beat by the Nets. So he's searching me out. He got his chest out when I walk. Hey!
Tripping. Yeah.
Just ripping. And I told him 2 weeks ago, there's an expiration date on your team between KD's knees and Kyrie Irving's attitude. I said, you got about a year before this all blows up in your face.
It wasn't even a year.
A week ago.
It wasn't even a year.
It wasn't even.
It wasn't even a month.
It wasn't even a month.
Done.
So I'm coming to work early Monday.
I hate you, man. Search your boy out.
I'm coming to work early, and I'm having my computer set up. I don't even sit there. I'm having my computer set up right there, right next to me.
There's an expiration date on them being top 5 in the East too.
Yeah, I was like, you got to win this title like this year, next year, or it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
But it's funny. Okay, so Kyrie Irving gets traded to the Nets. I'm sorry, to the Mavs. And now at this point, the Mavs, the Knicks own the Mavs pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not looking good for us in that pick right now. That pick is sitting at 19.
It's a top 10. Yeah, but that's where we're going. We knew we were going there anyway. It's a top 10 protected pick, isn't it?
Right, but now that Kyrie's there, we're sitting at 19. That pick is probably going to be like 30.
I don't know. They're not going to. I don't think they win the chip. I mean, that's a chip. They're not winning the chip. I don't even like the fit. I think they got Kyrie because they're going to sign him for 4 seasons, and if Luka leaves, they still got a superstar. I don't think they fit well together, to be honest with you.
I feel like they might. I think they're just trying to sign them, get them in the building, and see if they can keep him. If they can't, flip him for somebody else. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's going to be hard to flip Kyrie. It's going to be hard to flip him. They wouldn't have traded him unless he was getting the $198 million that he's looking for. So he's going to get that. And now they got him for 4 years, and they got Luka Doncic for 4 years. Well, I don't think it's 4 years. How long they got Luka for? But so now if Luka's the one that's closer to leaving than Kyrie. So
Yeah.
if Luka leaves, you still have something. You haven't gotten rid of all your cover. You still got a superstar in your building. Yeah, Luka is still on a 5-year, $215 million deal. So he's not unrestricted until 2027.
Yeah.
So they know they got both of them.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping on how they're going to play, though, because they have 2 of the best ISO players in the game. I don't know how it's all going to translate, but
defensively, I think it's a nightmare.
I mean, they did it with Brunson there, too. You know what I'm saying?
They did, but Brunson was coming off the bench.
That's true.
Right now, they got a 0.3 plus rating defensively. The net rating is +3. I don't know, man. They just got Dorian Finney-Smith was one of their best defenders.
Yeah, and they lost him.
Yeah, they just traded him. So I don't know what they do. I mean, offensively, yes, they're going to be a very exciting team. They are, but I'm talking about playoff time defense. Can they come up with stops? And who are they going to get that from? They got Christian Wood. He's a good defender. Dwight Powell is a good defender. They still got Reggie Bullock. He's a good defender. So they got some defenders there. Josh Green is actually a good defender. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they get something. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But I feel like they're too similar to them 2 guys as far as the way they play. They don't complement to me. They're very similar. But we'll see. Yeah. But I would do it if I was Mark Cuban. I would do that. Yeah, go get him. You want 2 superstars, you got him now. Yeah. So
my thing is like, what are the ramifications of that trade? Because now this trade happens, the Nets get a 1st-round pick in return, and now it's been reported that the Nets are speaking to the Toronto Raptors. So, like, what do they want from the Toronto Raptors? Are they trying to, because, the Knicks are interested in OG Anunoby. So are they trying to get OG on their team to try to, like, keep Kevin cool? Are they trying to bring in, Gary Trent Jr.? Or are they trying to move Durant to Toronto? Like, I'm trying to figure out what.
As far as their team, right? The Nets team, right now. So you're starting Kevin Durant. You could start Dorian Finney-Smith. That's a defender, right? You're going to start the young kid that has been playing out of his mind. You got 2 of them. You got Nick Claxton and what's the other one? The guy, Kessler Edwards. Both of them have been playing out of their mind. So you're going to have a nice rim protector. You're going to start. They haven't been starting Joe Harris, have they? They haven't been starting him. No, I don't know who else would they start. I would start Cam Thomas though.
Right.
But you need a point guard. So I don't know. I don't know what they do. But I think they got a nice team around KD. I'm saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they might be trying to keep KD there because, so they might be trying to like make a move to keep KD there. So maybe they're trying to trade for Siakam or something. Or
they could, yeah. That would be a move. Now, what would they give? Yeah. You're dealing with Masai.
Exactly.
You're dealing with Masai Ujiri, so I don't know. They would need some picks. Masai wants picks, man. You're gonna need some picks.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Oregon Knicks Fanatics. He says Nets trying to give Pascal and Scotty for Durant.
Oh, why would Toronto do that though?
because
You're giving
big
up
stars
Scotty
don't.
Barnes and Pascal. What you got left?
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that. I don't think so.
They might do
What you got
Pascal.
left?
They probably do Pascal and OG or Pascal and Trent.
All right, if they did Pascal and OG, okay, let's take a look here.
I can see them doing that.
What do they look like? Let's see what they look like. So they need a 5. They see, to me, Toronto's just missing a solid 5. That's all they need, and they would be really good. But okay, let's say they did Pascal for KD. You think? No, they need somebody to pair with KD. They're gonna keep him. So you want KD with Pascal, right? I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see them trying to get OG and Anunoby for some pieces that they have. Maybe, if you got him, But to me, with Dorian Finney-Smith, Kessler Edwards, you got Ryan you got Dorian Finney-Smith. You got enough with Dorian Finney-Smith. You got Kessler Edwards. You have oh God, who else did they have? They have a nice nucleus of defensive players still, I think. If I'm looking at let me look at the Dorian Finney-Smith, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal. They still got him. Yeah. So I don't know. I think they got a nice, I don't know. They got a nice team still. I think they could, if I was going to try to roll the dice and keep Kevin, then I think they got something around him. They got something around him.
Yeah, I can see him go either way, trying to even move Kevin or try to build around him.
But I can see Kevin, especially if they lose in the first round, I can see Kevin asking for a trade this summer.
Right, but I can also see them trying to get OG. Like, I don't know what you think about the OG trade room and stuff.
Well, it depends on who they have to give up and what they have to give up to get OG and Anunoby. Because OG, to me, he's 25. That's a positive. He's a tremendous defender. That's a positive. He's a starter, dude. So you're going to start him at the 3, but he's injury prone. So you're going to start him at the 3. Who are you giving up? Are you giving up RJ? Who are you giving up for OG and Anunoby? I don't know. That's the question.
RJ,
what do you think?
I'm more. Shoot, I was thinking about protected picks, OB, Rose, Cam, something like that.
You think they take that?
I
don't know. I would try it. I mean, why not? I mean, I would try it. They're trying to get rid of Evan Fournier. So they probably have to send Evan Fournier there. But then again, that money, I don't know. I don't know what they have to do. That's a hard one, man. But you're right. If they could do it, let's say 3 protected picks, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin. I don't want to give up Obi though. Damn, I don't want to give up. Not for that. Shoot. Who are you starting? Are you putting Quentin Grimes on the bench now? Damn, I don't want to do that either.
Here's the thing. I would, but I really don't want to.
Because if I'm getting OG, honestly, you got a defensive wing with him and Quentin Grimes, and OG is a corner 3 at a very high clip. So I want them both on the starting unit, I want them both starting.
It just makes it weird because we gave RJ a bunch of money.
It does make it weird. But he'd be going back home. I don't know. Shoot, I really don't know. That's a tough one. So to answer your question, I would consider it, but I don't know what they'll give up for him. I hate the thought of giving up OB for that, and I hate the thought of giving up RJ for that. I just don't like it. But OG's a 37% 3-point shooter, 82% foul shooter. Yeah, we know he could play some defense. He's 6'7", 232, so he could definitely handle himself. He just is a little injury prone, man. But damn, I mean, you got to say because he played 74 games his rookie year and has never sniffed 70 games since. So I don't know. I don't know. He's 74, 67, 69, 43, 48, and this year he played 45, which is most of the games this year. I think he might have missed 6 games this year.
So that's what I'm saying, man. I really like that prospect to have OG here. I like Quentin
What would
Grimes
you
here
give
as
up for him
well.
though? What
Huh?
would you give up for him? Realistically though, what would your trade for OG
Realistically,
be?
well,
That they would
me
actually
and Ryan
Masai
G,
Ujiri now.
Ryan G, now we've been going back and forth between the three picks versus 2 picks thing for like a
Let's
week.
assume they would give you 2 protected picks and 1 unprotected pick. I would give them the 2027 unprotected, and I give them 2 protected because I'm not as concerned with 2027 because we got Milwaukee's 2027, and it's only top 4 protected. So
That's what
I
I
don't think
said.
Milwaukee. So
I said I'll be willing to.
I'll give them.
I'd be willing to give up 1 protected. I mean, 2
Yeah, that'll be
unprotected.
that one.
I mean, 2
Yeah,
protected
2
picks.
unprotected.
I'm sorry, 2 protected
And
picks
one unprotected.
but not even 1 completely unprotected. Like they'll have some protections on it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I would
So
be
one of
willing
my
to do
picks
that.
would be protected. Yeah, I'd say top 10 protected or whatever, and I'll give them a certain protected pick, either the Milwaukee or the
Right.
Dallas. I give one of
I'm
them.
not even giving the Milwaukee one. I'm giving them like
Yeah.
the Detroit one.
Yeah, something like that. Right. But you deal with Masai Ujiri now, so I don't know. But
Right. But if I'm giving you one of my own unprotecteds, then like you can take some of the, especially if you're getting like a player with it. So it's like,
yeah,
that's what I think.
it's a tough call, man. But I would not mind a lineup of OG, Grimes, and Brunson, and then Rich Rob and Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep Obi Top. I'd like to keep Mobb Deep in its current form. I'd like to do that. But
Yeah. People asking about Miles Bridges as well.
Well, you think Phoenix is going to start over?
No. Yeah,
So
you know
he's
what?
not on the table.
I feel like they might try to start over. But
Because even if they did, let's say they were going to rebuild, right? So what are they rebuilding with? They're going to rebuild with Mikal Bridges.
yeah,
It's going to be.
I almost feel like they would move their center before they move Mikal.
I think they keep Ayton, and I think they start over with a rebuild with Mikal and Ayton, and trade everybody else. Try to get as many picks as they can for Devin Booker, and then and trade everybody else and start with those 2 guys as solid foundation.
How old is Devin Booker? You think they would trade Devin Booker?
Well, I think Booker would want to be traded if they're going to rebuild. Booker's only 26, so I'm saying Booker would want to be traded. So Mikal is 26, and so Booker would want to be traded. So I'm keeping Andre Ayton and Mikal, and I'm trying to get a bunch of first rounders, and I'm seeing if I can fill around those 2 guys. You got 2 solid guys. You got Cam Johnson, who's not a star by any stretch, but he's a solid guy. And he's 6'8", solid player, 26. I wouldn't start over if I was them. I wouldn't. I would just get rid of Chris Paul and get me another point guard.
But I kind of feel like, I guess so.
I guess so.
You know what? You're right, Will. I don't think they would start over.
Yeah.
If you just get a solid point guard who can play defense.
Yeah, I start over. I wouldn't start over. I talked to Toronto about Fred VanVleet though.
Yeah, I can see that. I
would talk to Toronto about Fred VanVleet and see what they want to do, man. But if I'm Phoenix, I don't blow it up. If I'm the Lakers or the Nets, I blow it up. But if I'm Phoenix, I don't blow it up. If I'm the Lakers, they're wasting time. They may not even make the play-in. They really may not. So you got Anthony Davis and LeBron, and you're not gonna make the play-in. Blow that mess up. Blow it up. LeBron's got a no trade clause, but I talked to him. Look, LeBron, we ain't gonna win a chip, man.
I agree, man. Knicks fans talking about the mid teams that are in trouble. The Lakers are a mid team that's in trouble.
Are they actually even a mid? Are they even a mid?
Shoot, slightly
look
below
at the standings. They're below mid right now. The Lakers are in. Where are they? Do you know the Lakers are in 13th position in the West? 4 games under 500. It's a long shot that they even make the play in. Honestly, it's a long shot.
It's time for LeBron to go. Hang it up.
Yeah, saying if you want to play, bro, okay, look, you mind starting with another team because we're gonna try to get what we can for you. What team do you want to go to? And then trade AD, get rid of him too, and see what you can get because they're not going anywhere. They really not. They took their shot. Like they took their shot. They said they played the game and they lost. They haven't They got one chip out of it though.
They got one chip.
Yeah, they got one chip out of it.
Mad old people. No flexibility.
Yep.
Two first rounders, and that's it.
And that's the thing about Portland. Portland is now in the 11th spot. You see, so Grant wants to stay there as he struggled. He came from Denver, almost winning it. He went to the rebuilding Detroit. I think he's trying to get to a contender next time, with this money. So we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Salute to the chat. Shout out to Raw. I guess Ryan G is not in the building.
No longer in the building.
Ryan G has left the building. If you're feeling the show, hit the like and subscribe button. We're here after every game talking Knicks basketball. Shout out to Raw for rocking with us today. Next game will be, was it Tuesday versus the Orlando Magic? We playing those guys. I call
me and Organic going to the game.
Oh yeah. Shout out to you
we're
guys,
going to the game. Yeah, we're going to the game. We're on Mad Mind for Kosh. We're going to the game on Tuesday.
Yeah. I know we gotta play Black Ball Bowl. I call him Black Ball Bowl. I mean Black Victor. We're gonna play Black Victor on Tuesday.
Well, Bomba's not playing.
Oh, he's suspended?
He's suspended, yeah.
For scrapping? Yeah.
Suspended 4 games, I think.
Yeah, I still like Mo Bamba, but you know what? Hartenstein is earning my stripes. So I'm not even gonna talk about Mo Bamba today. Because that's disrespect to what Hartenstein has done. Today. Actually got defensive rebounds today. Was up in Embiid's face. Got a block today. Played killer defense. The whole second unit was switching. They were rotating quickly. They were closing out. They were challenging layups, floaters, getting every 50-50 ball. I'm not even gonna mention Mo Bamba for Hart. Shout out to Hart. Did his thing.
All right, Hart don't run JS's heart.
Yeah, Hart won my heart today. For now, until Mitch get back.
Yeah. To Mitch.
Here's the thing: like the Knicks are over 500 for right now, and we're still hanging on despite a lot of people. Shoot, even me, I had some doubts, thinking, "Oh, we're going through the gauntlet. How are we going to beat the Celtics? How are we going to beat the 76ers? How are we going to beat these teams and still end up over 500 after the All-Star break?" Now, don't look now, guys. Don't look now. But what are we? 29 and 26?
3 games over 500.
We're 3 games over 500. We got the Magic, the Sixers.
And we got the Magic on Tuesday.
Yep.
Let's just if we get that win, we'll be 4 games over 500.
Yep. Then we got the Sixers. Then we got the Jazz. Then we have the Nets.
The Nets.
Now all of a sudden the Nets look like a winnable game. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because they have a curse over us.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Randall said, they ain't no rivalry. They've been kicking out, but every time we play. So
exactly.
This is,
And then we have the Hawks and Wizards. And by the time we come back, we should have Mitch Rob back on the line, though.
Yep. I think he'll be back by at least after the All-Star break.
Me too.
He'll get the chance to run and get himself, game shape. And
absolutely.
Man.
Gary Harris for Cam. I talked about Gary Harris here.
But for what though? Where's he going to play?
Bench scoring, 3-point shooter. Harris is pretty good.
No, he is. But I'm saying, but now that we got Deuce loose,
that's true.
We got IQ. I mean, what we need Gary Harris for? We good.
That's true. I'm wondering, looking at the games that we played so far, and the way the bench has stepped up, I kind of wonder what the front office thought process is at this point, because
that's a good question. Yeah,
the conversation has been, let's make some moves to get the bench help and get the bench scoring. But now you're starting to see Deuce and these guys starting to find a rhythm. So as a front office, do you disrupt that rhythm if we're going into the All-Star break? Well, not even the All-Star break, because we only have like a week left before the trade deadline. Right. If we go into the trade deadline and the bench is still producing, because we dropped 30 points.
I don't want to mess with them. Man. They dropped 32 today. They've been doing like 25, 26, 28. And this one's the best outing, since Mitch Rob got hurt 32. I don't want to mess with him, man.
Exactly. So I don't know. I might let it cook. I would let it cook. I'm not gonna lie. I still might try to find a way to get like Vanderbilt here. Like, I don't think he's worth.
No, I hear you. I
don't think he's worth
let me ask
a first round pick though.
All right, here you go. Here's a question. Big question of the night. Would you trade OG Anunoby for RJ straight up? Ooh, it's quiet. Jail's quiet.
I don't know if I want to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Would you do it? Would you? I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
I don't think I want to do that.
I don't want to do it either. I don't want to do it either.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do that. I would think about it more for Grant.
Because Grant's more of an all-star to me. He's more of an all-star talent. He would be an all-star Grant would be an all-star in the East, in my opinion. He would be an all-star in the East. But
like for me,
OG is a piece.
When I think about the project, because OG is a good piece, right? For me, if I think, say we trade a couple of protected picks and something, maybe OB or something for OG, I think if we have to make a move for an all-star, we would have enough to make a move because we have OG here and we have RJ here.
I agree. Then we have enough.
So
we have enough talent and picks to make that happen. Yeah,
right.
I agree.
And then make that move, and we still wouldn't feel anything because now we actually have the talent. It would kind of be like the Cavs. Now the Cavs kind of gave up all their spare parts for Donovan Mitchell, and they didn't really feel it because they had so much talent. So
that's right. I think we're in the same position. I think we are.
So if we do make OG trade, and we only end up sending like picks and maybe like, and I love OB Toppin. But if we end up moving OB for OG and some protecteds,
I can't argue that. I can't argue that. And I'm actually trying to figure out what's the best move. I'm trying to figure out what's the best move for OB. So Toronto, I wouldn't like it because they're going to start Scotty Barnes at the 4.
Yeah.
But then OG would be leaving, so you can start
Scotty at the 3.
You can start him at the 3, or you can start Scotty at the 3. Yeah, you could do that. And start OB at the 4. Yeah, he would get starters minutes then because OG and Obi would no longer be there. So yes, I want OG to start. I don't want him to be traded just to be on somebody's bench. So that's why I like the Utah and I like this deal because OB will leave here to get starters minutes, and I want to see him get starters minutes.
Yeah. Man, like I hate the idea of Ben. It makes sense though. And shout out to Ron because Ron actually called in and talked about that.
Yeah,
and I was like, nah.
It'd be a heartbreaker. It'd be a heartbreaker because Obi is more than just a player. He's a spirit. I mean, he's very bubbly. He's bouncy. He brings a joy to the bench, man. He really is part of the fam, So it'd be hard. It'd be hard to do. It would hurt, man. It'd be hard to do. I ain't gonna front. It would be hard to do.
I don't think I even want to do a poll for that. I see.
Nah, I don't even want to do it. No.
OG for RJ. I say yes, no, yes, no. I see more no's.
There's more no's now. Most people saying no.
Yeah, I see more no's. I don't even think I have to do a poll for that.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
All right.
All right,
to the
man.
chat. Huh?
Salute to the chat.
Yeah, salute to the chat. If you feel this is the show, we just pretty much had like a trade show, pretty much. Talked about the game.
Yeah. It's the deadline is Thursday.
Yeah, the deadline is Thursday. I want to be available just in case any emergency trade happens.
If something happens, man, it's going to be this week for sure. That day is going to be very interesting. It always is. So here we go.
Grandma Nick says at the end of the day, it's a business. So you saying just bench RJ, keep moving.
It's also politics, though. You can't discount that. It's politics.
Yeah, politics is different.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I still feel like the reason there was a moment in time when Ryan G was like, "Why is Tibbs benching IQ at 1 minute left just to bring in RJ?" Why? I don't get it. It was politics, Ryan.
It was politics, man.
It was politics.
You got your number 3 overall pick, and now you're paying him $100 million. It's politics.
Exactly. Even though in his heart of hearts, in that moment, IQ is being a two-way player.
IQ, yeah,
he's shooting shots,
there, but
he's playing better. But RJ is the third pick.
Yep.
And you want to manage egos too, because he's so happy when he completely benched him.
Absolutely. So yes, yeah.
And now that I think about it, if you really think about it, after you completely benched him, we're complaining the next game that RJ was playing a ridiculous amount of minutes in the first half, even though he was thinking of the place.
Right.
Now that I think about it, he probably left him in because he wanted to show RJ that he trusted him, and he didn't want to lose him because RJ threw a tantrum about a game before.
He did. Yes, he did.
So now I think about it, I was mad at Tibbs, but now I think about it, he was trying to manage RJ's emotions. All right.
He was. He probably was, man. Probably was.
Yeah.
Ah, gosh.
It is what it is. Politics as usual, as Jay-Z says.
It is politics.
All right. Salute to the chat. This is a good place to end it. Mr. Hebrew, let them know they can find you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Raw Hebrew Remnant on YouTube. Raw Hebrew Remnant repping on Patreon. RWHBRWRMNANT Raw Hebrew Remnant on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And that's
shout to Knicks Verse. I saw you in the chat. Shout out to Gallo. Shout out to Organics Fantastics. Jay Hans. Glamour Nick, Supreme One, Joe Long. Everybody who's rocked with the show tonight, shout out to you. Please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. The algorithm helps us out, helps us get seen. So please hit the like button before we close, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the talk. We'll be back. We'll be back on Tuesday. All right. So you already know. I'm gonna get to the solo screen real quick. Follow us at the KOTO Show on Twitter, Knick Of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere you listen to podcasts. Listen to the KOTO Show. KOT Show. I'm sorry. There's an echo in my ear, so it's hard for me to talk. All right. Get those snapbacks, black and white, blue and orange, at theknickoftimeshow.com. All right. All you got to do is go to theknickoftimeshow.com, hit catalog, boom, all the merch right there in your face. All right. All right. So shout out to you guys. Hold on, another super chat.
Nice.
$4.99 super chat from JT Riddick. He says, yeah. It's politics as usual.
Yeah,
all 82.
Politics as usual.
All right. Shout out to my guy, JT Riddick. We're chopping it up on Instagram sometimes. Shout out to you, JT. All right. All right. Oh, let me get back.
New York, big city of dreams.
New York. All right, here we go. That is our show. And you guys know the drill. As always.
Shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
Mess out here, these Knicks YouTube streets. That's our show. We out this. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.